All right, Falcon fans, Falcon diehards. Welcome to another Atlanta Falcons Fandemic Player of the Week segment. During this segment, I bring to you and highlight a different Atlanta Falcon player each week. Last week, we took a look at one of the up-and-coming stars and hopefuls, defensive lineman Rook Ororo. We are and can agree have high hopes and expectations for Rook. This week, however, we're going to go in depth and look at a player that could very well be playing right alongside of him. And it's safe to say that those same expectations and hope that we have for Rook can be said of this same player. But before we get into that, if you've been already enjoying my Player of the Week segments, please feel free to visit my YouTube channel at Atlanta Falcons Fandemic for more Player of the Week segments like this. Hit those like buttons, subscribe to my channel. It will really help me out, and also be sure to hit the notification bell as well, so that whenever I drop my new content, you'll get a notification as well. And as always, your comments are very well appreciated and welcome. So feel free to drop your comments and let me know what you guys think. If there is a player that you want me to highlight, please drop me a comment as well. Drop me a DM. You guys have been great hitting my DMs up. I enjoyed the conversation. So please continue to do so. Now, per reports, it seems that we have lost this player to injury. That injury being a torn ACL. Let me say this personally, I am disappointed and hurt. This has happened to him. I truly believe that he was on pace to be more important to this defense, to its success, and not just in the future. I think that his attributes and tangibles were going to be used this season, and and I think he's going to be a force. His play before he got injured was to be expected of. The Friday Night Lights in the Bins, the previous practices, the one-on-one practice with the Miami Dolphins, he displayed what what a lot of us just knew that, well, not really all of us, because I really didn't think he was going to stand out that much, but I mean, he has stood out. And I think he's going to live up to more than just the expectation that we saw in him. Right now, and like I said, I'm hurt by this one. I actually feel like a groom that has been stood up at the altar. I mean, it's this one hurts, because I was looking for him to really be a force this year. But injuries in the NFL happen, and at this point, it's next man up, right? But I'm still going to bring you my segment on him, because I mean, he's still a Falcon player. We're not going to lose him. He's still a force that's going to be reckoned with in the future. But right now, we're going to take a look at our 6'3", 245-pound, number 74th pick in the NFL 2024 draft. That's our linebacker and edge rusher, Bralen Trice. At 245, for me, and this is just my personal preference, I would like for him to pick up a couple of pounds. I mean, we've had edge rushers in the past that were playing at 245, and I'm not going to say it really. Well, actually, yeah, it really did not pan out. They had the one inaugural season, and then the next following season they just kind of fell off. So I would like to see him pick up a couple of pounds, get up to like 250, maybe a little bit more. Like I said, I looked at him like John Abraham, I think John Abraham was 255, 260, something like that. So I would like to see him get up to that. And it's not all about speed playing at that edge rusher spot. A lot of times you can have that 4.0, that 40 speed, and and not be able to have that football speed. I choose football speed over 40 speed any day. But one thing for sure, offensive tackles and blocking tight ends, they hate having to chase a speedy edge rusher when you have an edge rusher like Bralen. Bralen's big, he's fast, and possesses the skill that has a nightmare for any tackle or tight end, especially one with the speed that he has. So, and like I said, his skill set, his hands, he's smart to be, for an edge rusher. He that's not saying nothing about the other defensive linemen, but for an edge rusher, it's not just a matter of just setting that edge. Like I said, he's smart. He sets the edge. He runs down the line, and and make plays. So I mean, he's going to be forced to be reckoned with. Nicknamed the Enforcer, we only have to look at what people close to him and have come in contact with him to understand and how and why this nickname suits him. Former teammate and Washington linebacker Alfonso Tutupola, is that his name? Tupatola, was quoted in saying, "He's that enforcer that gets us going not only with his energy, but with his playmaking. You obviously see it when you watch his highlight reels." So I mean, a teammate's not going to down talk you, and they're actually going to, they pay attention to that kind of stuff, especially when you're leading the team and making plays. Furthermore, our very own offensive linebacker coach, Jaquez Smith, said he's an enforcer in the way he plays and with the strength and power that he possesses. He shows it in play in and play out. It's the perfect nickname for him. If there's anyone that can speak on Bralen in this light, it would be Coach Jaquez Smith. If y'all remember, Coach Smith played against us for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and was a true headache for us to be honest with you on the field. And he was also used, kind of like how we're going to be using Bralen here. So it's kind of fitting that we have a guy that also plays in that position, knows the position, to speak on speak on him in that light. And to solidify everything said about Bralen, is the man responsible for bringing him here to the attention of Terry Fontenot, and that's Joel Collier, the Falcons Northwest area scout, and he stated that he saw time and time again throughout the scouting process why Trice's nickname suited him so well. He was truly the front seven tone setter. Since the departure of Calais Campbell, the Falcons are indeed desperate for someone to come in here and develop into a future tone setter for this defense. As you know, we lost Calais Campbell to the Miami Dolphins, who has nothing but high praises about what he sees in Atlanta, and specifically about Michael Penix Jr. But he also went on to say that he loves how we look here in Atlanta going into the future. Just like a lot of people have said, it's something different going on here in Atlanta. And I totally agree. And I've been a fan since 1978, so this team has never been built to this capacity. I mean, Terry Fontenot went into this draft, he went into the free agency, he went looking, and he has built this team up and addressed every team, every position, and every spot that it seemed that hurt us in the past. Everything that needed attention to, Terry Fontenot has addressed it. So Bralen, at that edge rusher spot, fits that void. So I'm looking, like I said, more to come from Bralen. And he didn't necessarily catch my eye, until like the championship game and all the buzz started about him and his projected draft stock. I was more looking at Jared Verse and Latu, who overwhelmingly had more sacks than Bralen Trice, right? So although most of it, not all edge rushers are judged by the number of sacks they get, sacks aren't the only things that make an edge rusher. So the ability to consistently overcome opponents and get pressure on that quarterback is what a lot of defensive coordinators and scouts look for. But it just so happens that, Bralen Trice finished number 1 in the FBC in total pressures. In both 2022, he had 70, and in 2023, he superseded that with 78. And what's even more notable is he came off a red shirt season to produce those numbers. So, you can go out on a limb and say he's a freak of nature at that position, but he's going to be one to watch for in the future. If we use him right, bring him about right, and we can try to keep him from sustaining injuries. But pressures on the quarterback, get that quarterback to hurry in throws, making ill-advised throws that potentially lead to interceptions. Another area that we desperately need help to improve. Traylon's sack numbers coming out of college didn't quite look like those of fellow edge rushers in the draft. Trice finished his 40-game stint in the college ranks with 18, but compared to Dallas Turner, Jared Verse, and Latu, all of them topped their careers out with at least 23.5 sacks. Dallas Turner just never was on my radar. That'd just be honest truth. Yes, he was fast, but we've tried that speedy edge rusher. It did not last with people like Vic Beasley But once once offensive tackles learn how they can block a speedy guy, a lot of time they use your speed against you and just let you take yourself out of plays. But are sacks important? Of course they are. But ask any defensive coordinators across the league or at any level, and in fact they'll all agree getting a quarterback off his spot and under duress is just as important. Excuse me. And you know who did that more than any single player in college football the last 2 seasons? Of course, my main man, Trice. And when we talk about getting to the quarterback and getting him off his perch, you want a guy like Bralen who is known to apply pressure on a consistent basis to come in and do what he does best. If Bralen is able to get you on a couple of sacks in the process of applying pressure, it's a bonus, right? So these things bring us back to what Coach Raheem Morris said in his initial press conference. We're going to tap into what each player does best. And what Bralen does best is applying pressure. So you talk about an outside. When you talk about his 18 sacks and you couple that with his ability to get the pressure on the quarterback consistently, your expectation of him at this level is positive. We've had players in the past that could get to the quarterback, but they couldn't do it on a consistent basis. What we're looking for is a guy that can come in and the offense have to take account of where that guy is on the field. And I believe Bralen fits that void, and he's going to grab attention of all the offensive coordinators, and you're going to have to keep up with where he is on the field. Especially when you get an opposing quarterback that likes to stay in the pocket a little longer than usual, or hold on to the ball a little longer than usual. At present, those of you who saw the first preseason game against the Dolphins, Bralen gave the Dolphins all that they could handle until he got hurt. Fighting down the line of scrimmage, making tackles, fighting through double teams. And on one double team, he actually took that double team, both players, he took them both into the backfield, applied the pressure. He didn't get the sack, but he got that quarterback out of the pocket to throw an incompletion, a much needed incompletion. Broke up pass play. So Bralen, a freak of nature is probably going to be an understatement, but the guy is a beast. He's strong. And that, my friends, are why Bralen is vital for us, not just for the extended future, but for right now, to the depth we desperately need an edge and linebacker. So guys, we indeed have something special going on here in Atlanta with the Falcons, and you don't have to take my word for it. Just jump on social media, and it's the buzz being said about everywhere, even from the opposing teams. Trust me when I say Bralen is a beast, and I believe he will live up to all that hype and hoopla that everybody is saying about him. You know, all the tangibles, like I said before, will address the concerns we have at the edge rusher position. His presence will not only make a difference at this position, but will help others like Grady Jarrett return to the form to what they can do best. He would definitely be a problem for all the offenses in the future. So there you have it, guys. You know, my take on Bralen Trice and what he will mean for the Atlanta Falcons. Please, if you remembered that, if you've enjoyed this video, take a moment to hit the thumbs up, like my video, drop a comment in the comment section, and tell me what you think. I do answer and respond to all questions. It may take me a couple of days to respond simply because I do receive a lot of comments on my content. And again, if you haven't already subscribed, be sure to do so. Hit that notification bell to be notified when I drop content. Thank you, and once again, I'll see you on the next segment. As always, rise up.